Well, hey guys. So I was having a conversation with a potential client the other day, and he asked me, he said, Robert, no BS, how hard is trying to run a CNC machine? And I told him, I said, to be completely honest with you, it's hard. This stuff is complicated. There's so many things to know. And he asked me, he's like, well, how hard is it? I basically told him, imagine being colorblind and trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. That's the best way I can put it. You've got so many things that you have to learn and know and take into account. And just to make it a little easier, I've got this little program here from Bob over at CNC Cookbooks. He's a great guy. I looked at this a couple of years ago and my free trial expired and I couldn't install it and look at it again. Reached out to him, said, "Hey Bob, I looked at this a couple of years ago and I need to get another free trial." And he's like, "No problem." So a few hours later, here we are. So I've been playing with this software, and this right here takes a lot of the guesswork out of running a small or even a large CNC machining center or router or desktop CNC mill, which I've got two out of those three. I wish I had a machining center, but that's neither here nor there. But what this is it's called G Wizard, and it's a machinist calculator. You fill in a bunch of stuff, and it tells you the speeds and the feeds of the cutter you're trying to use. It gives you a really good baseline, whether you want to go aggressive or you want to be a bit more conservative. Hey, I got a text message. But it gives you a really, really, really good starting point of how you need to set up your tools, what feed rate, depth of cut, so on and so forth. So here's a good look at it, and what it allows you to do. One of the things that I really love about it is you can set up your machine. Okay, so I'm still new to this. I still don't know a lot of it, but Bob has got an amazing set of YouTube videos. He's always there in email. So he basically handholds you through the process of setting up the software, setting up your machine in the software, and as you can see here, his YouTube channel is it's amazing. And the software is not that expensive, especially when you're starting out. So looking at the three-tier prices that he has, for 1 year is $79. For 3 years, $139. For a lifetime, it's $269. So this is amazing in my opinion. So getting back to it, I have got four small CNC machines in my one car garage, quote unquote, shop. And if we come over here, you can see I've got my 6040 router set up. I've got a small Minitech Mill 3, which is over 25 years old, but it runs beautifully. I use that machine specifically for cutting my wax patterns for my jewelry stuff. My Mill 3 Pro, which is the bigger, air quotes again, the bigger desktop CNC mill that I have. And then I have a little 3040 router. So I got all those set up. And you can add them into your shop. Say, hey, I've got these machines set up in the software. I want to use this machine cutting a specific type of material, say brass, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch end mill, Depth of cut, let's go 1 millimeter, and it will tell you the feed rate and the RPM of your spindle to, and it gives you a chip load. It's got so much stuff in here. You can come in here and specify what type of cutter, what size, the stick out, if it's a coated end mill. But this is amazing because I do a lot of tech support, which I'm sure if you're not new to my channel, that you know I do a lot of training. And the most asked questions are about speeds, feeds, depth of cut, and those are typically the things I can't answer. Now, we have a general quote unquote rule: 20% of the diameter for depth of cut, 20% step over will get you in the ballpark. But that has absolutely nothing to do with RPM. The smaller the tool, the faster you have to run it to get the same chip load per tooth. So this software is, so far, it has been freaking amazing. It's got a bunch of different tabs up here for a bunch of different stuff. You can, if you have an automatic tool changer, you can set up your tool crib, specify which tool you have and which position on the tool crib or on the automatic tool changer. But yeah, this right here takes 90% of the guesswork out of it. Is it an end all be all? No, it's not, because you can't account for every machine type. But this does amazing. So for example, if I go over here to setup and I go to my mill 3, I've got basic information here, but we can go to advanced and I can put in the travels that I have, the RPM, the acceleration as far as G-force goes, how much the machine weighs. You know, the more mass in a machine, the less vibration you're going to have. So this is not a tutorial by any means. I'm throwing a tool at you that will help you get to where you want to be. And the best part is, as I have a lot of clients that deal in microfluidics, and they use very, 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 very small tools. So we can come over here and put in tool diameters. So this machine is set up for 25,000 RPM feed rate, so we can see that we have a red line here, and that red line tells us that we're out of parameters for that tool for some reason. Now 60,000 RPM probably get us back in the green, but the idea is to stay in the green. So let's go back to our 3.175 diameter tool, and we know we can get a little bit more aggressive with it. And here we can see our slider is telling us that we're now doing roughing, and if we get closer down here, we're doing finishing, and it recommends a feed rate, RPM. We can specify our depth of cut that we want. So if we go to 3, it won't let us, but maybe it'll give us 2. Let's see what we have here. And like I said, I'm still playing with it. So it even gives us an axial load, takes in deflection into account. Alright, so right now I have it stick out as 19 millimeters because of a job I was running for another client. So let's take that and bump that down to 5. Cut width. Let's go 3 millimeters in our slot, or we can do slot. So this tells us we're getting 100% or 99.9, which is 100%. So this is an amazing tool, and it gives us tips here. So if we take and change our stick out eventually, and we can see our deflection percentage here. And as this is getting higher, it's going to come up and give us a warning that says, hey, as we can see here, our stick out is 4 times the diameter, or greater than 4 times the diameter of the tool. To get better results, let's decrease our stick out. So this is a tool in my toolbox that really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. So it's 7:30 here at night, so I'm gonna cut this video short. I just wanted to put this up so my clients have something to refer back to when it comes to speeds and feeds, especially with micro tools or smaller end mills. But anyway, it's a tool. It helps you get to where you want to be. Takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I hope this helps somebody.